going to show you how to make this beautiful design from scratch in just under 15 minutes. So simply, whatever browser you use, you could type in embroidery.us, that's it, and enter. So this directly brings you to the first page. There are two options. You could either generate image with AI, or you could upload your own image. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to generate the image. So I can, let me think, some Japanese maple. I typed Japanese wrong, but that doesn't matter. In autumn. All right, let's see how this works. All right, image is generated, and now this is being converted to a variety of styles that you could pick from. This might take a while, but it shouldn't be too long. If it got stuck, I could just refresh the page and then start over. Excellent. So what you can see here, there's a color design, and you could also see some outlines. Don't underestimate this line outlines. We could sometimes use them for hybrid designs. We'll revisit them at some point. But for now, let's select the color version. It's a beautiful bonsai tree, and you can see how the image is segmented. That works best for laying down different type of colors. So you can see that the default number of threads that's required for this design is 12. Usually what I keep in stock for this palette is about 9. Then you can apply changes, and that could work best for smaller design. All right, so I don't see a lot of reduction in the design that I'm interested in, so 9 could work very well. The second dial you could use is fine details. The fewer fine details in the design, the better for smaller frames, because in smaller frames, fine details would have very little area, and the auto digitizing software might skip those little areas. So I'm going to play with this, starting from fewer fine details, and if necessary, we're going to increase the dial here. Yeah, so with this one, I lost some details that I really liked. We're going to bring it back a bit higher. Still not enough. A bit higher. All right, this is pretty great. So you can see this continuity of the image here. All right, moving on to stitching. Here you get to pick your frame size. What I want to design here is 8 by 8. And then I just submit the job. Behind the scene, the embroidery engine is calculating every single stitch that would fill this areas of tree for you. Once you see the dialer here, which shows the seconds of this process, it means that the engine behind the scene has started working. This might take a while, especially for larger frame size. Depending on the complexity of design, it could be anything between 3 to maybe even 40 minutes. All right, so this design took about 10 minutes to complete. And then as you can see, it has identified the thread palette that is recommended set of threads that you could purchase for this design. You can see the name of the color, you can see the maker of the color, the threads, that is Madeira here, and you can see the ticket number. All right, so this is the design. I love it. It contains a lot of red and oranges. I think it will look great on real fabric. So at this point, we can download the files. We don't need to wait for generation of realistic preview. The moment you're in this page, the files are ready to be downloaded. Simply I hit download files. I'll get a message here that I'm not logged in, but what it says is that if I signed up, I get to download 3 free designs. Know that you don't pay any credit for creating the design and retrying a variety of styles. Since I already have an account, I can just simply log in. Then after I log in, it brings me to home, but I could still come back and see the design that was ready for me to be downloaded. I download the files. It's telling me that 1 credit will be deducted for this design. I confirm. I can just name it autumn tree, and then this is just for me to remember what the size of the design was. And this is going to be a zip file, and I'll be saved on desktop. Excellent. And it's telling me that this design was downloaded, and it's telling me the size of the file and the name of the file that you can find in the library indicated with my designs. You can see I have created 123 designs, and when I go November 7 is when I created this design, and I can download it again in case I forgot where it was, or I can access it anytime. So depending on your operating system and computer, you can open the zip in a variety of ways. Drop me a line if you were not able to open the zip file, but once I open it, you can see multiple files. The first one is showing me a list of colors that includes maker and the ticket number and the weight of the color. And I can also see a PNG of that design here. So my machine is Brothers. So PS would be the format that I can put in my machine. Now I have a software. It's a free software called Inkscape, and it has a plugin called Inkstitch. So this is the design. With this software, I can check the size of the design. So here it's telling me in inches. It's about 7.5 to 8, which would be proper for my machine and frame size. And then I could also use this Inkstitch plugin to simulate my design. I do have a tutorial on this channel where you can see how you can access, download, and do some basic stuff with this software. There is how the machine is going to stitch down this design. We have seen in the previous tutorial how to create a design, a simple design with embroidery.us web application. And at this stage, I could go and stitch down this field design with a variety of colors. But in this tutorial, I want to show you how you can create hybrid designs. In the beginning of design creation, we had different styles that you could access through digitizer tab, and then select a style sub tab. And then I selected the field, which would then give me the design that you just showed. For hybrid design, which is a level more advanced, I would want to put outlines on the existing field design. So there I have a couple options. Let's start from pencil sketch and tune this to our liking. Before moving on, I would just hit apply changes once more to make sure that the dials values here are actually the ones that are reflecting what we see here. This will take a while, but then it's successful. You can see the fine details that is tuned at 46. It's creating a pretty dense outline, which would not allow the colors to shine through. So I'm going to reduce the amount of fine details here. Once that's done, I could take another look, make sure that I'm comfortable with the amount of details. Perhaps I want fewer lines that would allow the design to be lighter and the colors shine through. Sometimes I have fewer colors, and for the design to show what it actually is, I might need more lines. But at this stage, fine details dialed at 29 seems appropriate. So I choose stitch it, and then my design was an 8 by 8. Obviously I choose 8 by 8 ear 8 by 8 frame size to be able to overlap the two designs. This could take anything between 1 minute to 2 minutes. Here I'm getting my outlines here, similar to before. I don't need to wait for the realistic preview to be ready. I'm going to download my files. A credit would be deducted, and then I'm going to name this so that I would remember what the design was. 8 by 8, and then these are outlines, again in a zip format. Similarly, I could see the variety of file formats here. This is the same software, InkStitch, which is free, and you can see a tutorial about how you can access and download it again for free. So this is the outline. The color is actually black, but for some reason I can see it as a different color. To be able to see it more realistically, I'm just gonna make it black. Alright, so I have black outlines here. I have already opened the field design. I would paste that outline, and all I have to do at this point is to align the two. Alright, this looks pretty aligned, and the parts that are not perfectly aligned, it's just sort of on a more stylistic part, but you can feel free to play with it a little bit more. Alright, now I have my full design. Going to take it to the simulation. All right, here's the simulation. Going to go through every color I have. All of the segments will be stitched really beautifully because they're spread out. It's not going to bunch up the fabric. And then eventually you can see that the black outline is laid out to bring out the different components of this design.